Okay, can you introduce where we are today, Mr. Gurratan Singh?
So, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'll start off with a big thank you to Ravi Singh for accepting and being a part of the amazing work we're doing here in Brampton for Sikh Heritage Month. So we're in downtown Brampton. We're here at PAMA, which is the Peel Art Gallery Museum and Archive. And this is our amazing exhibit we have about the Kamagata Maru. For those of you who don't know, this is a very tragic part of Canadian history where Sikhs were actually came as refugees to Canada and were turned away. And it was and they actually stayed docked at Vancouver for a long period of time to get access, and they ultimately were turned away. And it's so fitting that we have Ravinder Singh here, in this space, because the story of refugees, as Sikhs as refugees, and the amazing work that Ravinder Singh is doing with refugees currently. There's so many.
I'm going to interrupt you. I think the word is Sikhs who are refugees, right?
They were.
But when Sikhs say we don't want refugees, does it also really upset you like as much as upsets me?
100% upsets me. It totally upsets me when Sikhs say, we shouldn't support refugees, because this is a history of Sikhs on a boat trying to dock to Canada as refugees, as individuals who are trying to gain access, as people who are trying to come to a better place and a better land, and were turned back. And it's something that we look back in Canadian heritage, and we look back, it was a dark time for us. And as Sikhs, we should understand our connected history and say, we have an obligation to stand up for people who are in positions that we weren't very long ago also in.
Yeah, so this is about that. Who organized this, and can you tell us more about the Sikh Heritage Month? So just to let you guys know, this is Gurratan Singh, and he's one of the organizers for the Sikh Heritage Month. So please tell us a bit more about the Sikh Heritage Month now, to people who don't know what you're doing and why you're doing it.
So Ontario is a very special place, because in Ontario we actually passed a law which makes every April a month to recognize Sikh heritage and Sikh contribution. So it's called Sikh Heritage Month, and it's actually the first of its kind in the world. A right we don't even have in India. We have here in Canada, where we recognize our contribution to Canadian society. And since it came into power, it came into act in 2013, we've been doing these events with local art galleries and working with the city. We had the support of Sikh heritage of this art gallery called the Peel Art Gallery Museum and Archive. With the support of the city, we had the support of the Sikh Foundation of Canada, and we all come together to put on these amazing shows of art and culture and of knowledge.
And what's the website?
It is. To learn anything about what we're doing is called
www.OntarioSikhHeritageMonth.ca. Ontario Sikh
Heritage.
My fingers aren't very good at typing. Heritage Month.
Yeah. .ca.
Ontario Sikh Heritage
Month.ca.
.ca. Okay. So I hope many more people will support this project. It's amazing that we're in Canada talking about so much sacrifices and the history of the Sikhs in Canada. This is a group of Sikhs. In what year is it? There you are, look.
1905.
Sawmill workers, North Pacific Lumber Company, British Columbia, 1905. That's 1905 in Canada, when they're working here. So Sikhs have been here a very, very long time. It's amazing. Okay, so now these pictures, they're amazing. I think who's funding all this?
So this project particularly was put on by the Sikh Foundation of Canada, but it's also done in partnership with the Peel Art Gallery Museum and Archive. So this is the region of Peel supports us, and also the Sikh Heritage Month Foundation, a group that we worked and organized with, plays a big role in
Sikh
getting
Foundation.
It's very confusing. There's a lot of names. Sikh Foundation,
yeah,
and then Sikh Heritage Month Foundation.
Okay, excellent. That's really good. See, this is what happens when Sikhs can work together. It's amazing. This is all about the Sikhs, how far they went in working in Canada, the history in Canada. There is the journey, the whole details there, what happened. So I'm going to show you more here, look. This is when the Sikhs were coming to Canada, and then the revolutionary. There's Baba Gurratan Singh, who survived the Baj police shooting. And these are the legends of our Sikh history. So if you type in Gurratan Singh, you'll see. And he was here, look. The injustice of the Kamagatu Maru incident haunted Gurratan Singh, and he continued to proceed legal action against the British government. So people were affected in a different way, and they sought legal redress. Look at this, look. This is interesting to read. In 1985, an unsympathetic public or unmotivated public leadership or racist in office are enough to lead to racism in immigration, even with laws neutral on their face. This is David Matas, Racism in Canada, in Canadian Immigration Policy in 1985. So these guys who fought for justice, there you are, look. This is what our ancestors done. Our contribution of our ancestors is so great, right?
So great, amazing.
But do you think the youth actually know how much our ancestors suffered to be here today?
I think there's a you know, the youth. This is the journey that we take upon ourselves. That we need to educate our community. We need to educate everyone to know that we still have rich and strong history. It's actually interesting you mentioned that, because the second portion of this gallery actually talks about our Sikh heritage, and it's another exhibition that's going to be coming through. And this is a collection of artifacts, a collection of arts from the Sikh kingdoms, when the Sikhs had our own Raj, and the Sikhs, when we had our own autonomy, our own sovereignty.
So this is about from the history of the paintings, and what's behind us here?
So this is a whole collection, and it's a preview, it's called, a preview about the arts of the Sikh kingdom. So this is a collection.
So basically, it's people who don't even know the Sikhs have their own kingdom.
We had our own kingdom, we had our own Raj, we were a sovereign and free people with our own autonomy, with our own sovereignty. And this is when a people have the ability to govern themselves, when a people have the ability to come together collectively and rule themselves, look at the amazing art and culture that comes forward. And this is the Renaissance, and this is all art, this is all history from this period, all early 19th century art from the Sikh community, from the Sikh kingdoms, and about our history. And this is the benefit of having of having rulership, of having Raj.
Wow, it's amazing. There's so much here.
Pictures from Janam Sakhi's big art, and this is just a preview. There's going to be a bigger.
There's going to be bigger exhibition
in following years.
So thanks to young guys like
Thanks to
Gurratan
this
Singh here.
guy right here,
Thanks to these guys here. Great work. So many people don't know, Gurratan Singh is a brother of Jagmeet Singh, the amazing Chardi Kala MLA, is he? MLA?
Here's called MLA.
Sada apna desi MLA. Amazing guy, one of the most inspiring young men in our community. So that's his brother. No wonder the zeal for activism runs in the family blood. It's in the blood. And when we talk about educating the youth, educating the community, when I talk about Punjab, there are people on my Facebook as listening now. No, Ravi Singh, talk about India, don't say Punjab. Why not? We're Punjabis. We're Punjab. Punjab had its own kingdom. We have our own heritage, own history. So it's great to see that the youngsters from Australia to USA to now Canada here, Sikh History Month and Heritage Month, talking about the history of the Sikhs, our heritage, our culture, who we are, and trying to preserve it, because there are people out there who are trying to destroy it. So this is what I say to people so many times. When we fight each other, you see in Punjab, there are different groups fighting each other. I hate him and he hates me and we hate each other. They are building nothing. You want to follow those people, either group, that's up to you. They haven't built anything for 30, 40 years, and they're not going to build anything either. You've got to build something and then help these youngsters here to keep our history, keep our heritage alive. When you start taking part in fights and pointing fingers or being negative, you build nothing. So we need to build our institutions. We need to build we need to more than build. I think we need to preserve our history. Our history is being destroyed in front of us. We're trying to. There are people out there trying to make believe that Sikh kingdom never existed. Don't talk about the Sikh kingdom. Don't talk about the Khalsa army, the Khalsa Raj. Don't talk about Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Just talk about only one India and then nothing else existed. I've got nothing against India or Indians. You know, we're from the same continent, but we have our own history. So why are you trying to deny us our own history? When somebody's trying to deny you your own history, there's a good reason for it. And one of the main reasons is what happened to the Red Indians, what happened to the Aztecs, what happened to all the great tribes and great people and great movements in history. They've been assimilated, they've been finished off, so they become under one umbrella. The Sikhs and Punjab, we want to preserve who we are, and with your support we'll do it. So if you're in Canada, look at these guys, what they're doing in Toronto, in Brampton, help them. In America, in Australia, if somebody's trying to preserve their history, their heritage, help them. There's a Punjab Digital Library, I think they're doing great work.
Yeah,
help them. So help these groups. Don't get into fighting someone because somebody said this and he said that. Now we're going to kill each other. It's just a waste of time. They're trying to waste your energy, suck you into this endless fights where you create nothing. When you create nothing, you become nothing. It might be not now, maybe in 50 years' time, you'll be nothing. So Sikh Heritage Month around the world, in Australia by Gurratan Singh, by Amar Singh, all these guys, I remember by Gurratan Singh, they're all doing this fantastic, by Gurratan Singh. The Super Sikh Sports and Cultural Club, amazing Sydney. These guys are doing an amazing job. Support these guys. You know, if you're going to give $10 to us, give $5 to them, because we need to preserve our history.
To these guys. $100. These guys are doing amazing work. They need the funding. Then, afterwards think about us. With these guys.
but don't you think the youth need to focus on preserving and learning and passing on our history and our heritage?
Yeah.
All this infighting is causing what?
It's causing damage, and it's so sad to hear when I talk to a young person who says, I never knew the Sikhs had a kingdom. I never knew the Sikhs had the ability to govern themselves. And when I hear this, it gets very sad, and that's why when we have leaders like you, Ravi, saying,
leader, don't call me leader.
Sevadar.
Leader na kaho mainu. Don't call me leader, leader.
We look up to you, Ravi, saying like that. Whether you like it or not, we look up to you.
Like leaders, I think Leader, right?
Yeah.
Also the same, that is for dealer. Yeah. So I'm not a leader. I'm just here as somebody. We're trying to create change.
Yeah, we're
trying to tell, that is your whole idea as well, right?
Yeah.
Is to create a thought process.
Totally.
To be proud of who you are, preserve what you have,
yep.
and build for the future.
Totally.
So that's why when I talk about people, Khalsa Aid is an institution now. It was built to be an institution. We wanted the world to know we're Sikhs, we're humanitarians, we love all humanity. Khalsa Aid became that. That was the whole reason. We need to build more institutions. Those people who are against Khalsa Aid, one or two people around the world, because they don't want us to build an institution. They want us to be living, fighting, arguing, being oppressed in our thought processes, our control, our minds. We need to be outside the UK, outside India to build institutions. And these guys around the world, from Australia, America, all over to Canada, doing a Sikh Heritage Month is an amazing concept, and they must carry on. And wherever you're listening from, wherever you are, go and type in Sikh Heritage Month Australia, Sikh Heritage Month America, Sikh Heritage Month Canada. Support these guys. Give them your support. Volunteer for them wherever you are. We got to help each other. Let's not pull each other down. I believe in promoting each other. If we're doing well, make sure you support that cause and help it grow, become stronger. And I'm sure with the Canadian spirit, these guys are going to make it much bigger next year.
Wonderful.
Yeah? So thank you very much. One love to everyone. We don't hate anyone. We just can't stand tyranny. And I hate corrupt systems. And I will always speak out against corrupt systems. Somebody said to me the other day, Ravi Singh, we're not going to support you anymore because I'm a Sikh and you talk against this and that. You shouldn't talk about human rights and politics. Well, I'm going to keep talking about human rights, even if I'm the last man alive. Makes no difference. That's how Sikhs are. Sikhs are born activists. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a social activist. He was a champion of the poor, champion of the weak. But he made him into like that he wasn't. We made Guru Nanak Dev Ji that he was just a holy man who didn't do anything for the community.
Revolutionary.
He was a revolutionary, he was a social activist. He's one, I think, the most inspirational figure probably in history, yet we don't give enough credit because we start making our leadership, we're meant to be sant spies and miri piris. Instead we become like sadhus, and we like to fight each other, we like to provoke each other. Well, I'm not taking part in that. We're going to build and help each other. Well done, Gurratan.
Well done to you as well.
Well done to the Sikh Heritage Month in Canada. Hoping to see a bigger display and meet the team later on today or tomorrow. So great work. All right, stay blessed, guys.